Us, it's still the conversation, and I'm super excited this morning because my guest today is one vibrant young lady. Anyway, you'll get to meet her later. Today we're discussing electoral participation and youth engagement. This is one topic that goes to the heart of our democracy. And like our last guest on the other side said, they are the ones with the numbers. The youth, they are the ones with the numbers. So young people make up a significant portion of Nigeria's population and a voter base. Yet questions remain about their actual influence in electoral outcomes and governance. Are our youths truly participating, or are they just talking on social media? To help us answer these questions and others is Sherifat Umar. She's a member of the Lagos State Youth Parliament. It's nice to have you.
It's nice to have you also, ma'am. Good
Should
morning.
I say Ramadan Kareem?
Ramadan Kareem to you too.
So when we talk about electoral participation as a youth parliament member, what does that truly mean?
Okay, so when we say electoral participation, we strongly say that youth are supposed to be participating in the decision making of the country, not just sitting or being a spectator
or ranting on social
media, digital conversation, but truly participating and taking the right step in doing it. Okay,
we mentioned social media earlier. Are youth in Lagos really participating like you have mentioned, or what you do?
The truth is, it is a two-sided thing.
Okay.
There are some persons who are interested and there are those who are not interested.
Okay.
There are people who seriously want to participate in the decision making of the country. Youth, right? And there are also some youth who believe they just need to make ends meet and they are not necessarily interested in making decision as regards the country. Okay,
so when we're trying to weigh, you know, those who are truly interested and those who are not interested, which one is more? Because it is your population, you should know.
Yes. I'm going to be very honest. I think those who are not interested and not willing to participate in electoral processes outnumbers those who are willing to participate.
Okay, so we have a lot of disgruntled youths in Nigeria and Lagos as a whole now. What do you think is really their challenge, or what is making them so angry that, you know, sometimes they do not want to participate in electoral process?
Firstly, I'm going to talk about survivor. There are some youth who believe I am struggling to make ends meet. I'm thinking about the next meal on my table and you want me to pay attention to voting and all of that. But they fail to realize that there is a problem, because if they fail to participate in election and all of that, there's nothing that is happening. They are just being silent, because election will take place either they are influenced or not. But the problem here is when they clearly believe that because they are trying to survive they're thinking of their next meal, it's not necessary for them to participate. And another thing is, I think, fear. When you go to some places where they have to do election, they feel because there's going to be harassment, there's going to be violence, people are too scared to want to go out and participate, because we've heard a lot of stories where you go to vote and the next minute there is harassment, there is violence. So people are too scared to want to do that. I talked about survivor, I talked about violence, and another thing I want to talk about is the belief that they do not have a voice.
That is, they do not trust the system.
They believe politics is dirty, and then they need to curb that, because the truth is, if you don't do politics, politics will do you. Every aspect of your life, that's actually very true. Every aspect of your life, those that are in the aims of affairs, they are in charge of what the prices of fares, governance, every other thing, your electricity, your institution fees, everything. So one way or the other, politics is doing you. So even if you decide that you don't want to do politics, this is Nigeria, politics will definitely do you. But you then need to realize that that mindset needs to change. Because if there is a problem, you do not have a say because you were not partaking in it. Let's take, for example, in a secondary school, there is a class captain and every student needs to vote for the class captain to be elected. And then let's say, for instance, the class captain is not doing well and then people start saying, oh, the person is this and that, you do not have a say in it because you did not participate in the voting, you did not attend meeting, you were not interested, you do not have a say if it doesn't go well. So Nigeria is like that project, that school. If we can participate in that project, which is Nigeria, then definitely Nigeria is going to succeed.
Okay, voter apathy is one issue we have in Nigeria today. Do you believe that voter apathy amongst the youth is increasing or decreasing?
Honestly, I can't say statistically.
Okay.
But from my perspective and from those I live around with, I think it's not. Because it's not like
increasing.
It's not increasing.
Okay.
In my own environment.
Okay.
But statistically, I really cannot say.
When you say your own environment, is that where you live, or we're talking about the parliament now?
Where I live.
Okay.
I'm mostly surrounded by youth who are really, really interested in politics. Sometimes I see people who are even more intentional about politics than I am. I'm not trying to say I am not really into politics, but the energy, I don't really
you
have.
You are into politics. Yes. For you to be a member of the parliament, of the youth parliament, you are into politics.
I am into politics, but I'm not also into politics.
Okay, we'll come to that. So go on.
So when I say I believe that it's not a lot, even if it's just in your school, maybe there is a group, and then there is need for you to elect a leader. Politics is taking place.
Okay.
From moving from that to your local level, then advancing, that way is showing the progress of the political conversation in your area. So I like to believe that youth, where I stay, where I belong in my environment, are really, really interested. Now, I'm not even talking about the youth parliament. In fact, institution too, the likes of Lagos State University, the likes of University of Lagos, Lagos State Technology of a lot of universities students are really, really interested in the aims of affairs and are willing to grow with Nigeria. Okay,
I'm trying to get into your heads now, the young people. Okay. I'm trying to get into your heads. For those who are interested in political participation and engagement, what do you think of? What do you look at in choosing a political party, in choosing a great leader?
The first thing I would say is be informed. You cannot come to tell me something when I have not made findings as regards it. You cannot sell an idea to me. Of course, you might do your own part by selling the idea for me, but my own part in making sure if that idea is worth it is by being informed, making research, try to know what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Because what I believe, the problem I'm seeing right now is people just want to follow the lead. They just want to do what people are doing. They just want to feel and
follow the bandwagon.
You do not necessarily have to do that. You can be different out of thousands of people. You don't have to follow what people are doing.
As long as you believe in what you're doing.
Exactly. So you need to be informed firstly. Because one of the reasons why we have a lot of unverified news on the internet is because people fail to verify it. You just get to see, oh, if you don't forward this message to 10,000 people, you die the next day, and then you forward to 10,000 people. That is the problem. You are not informed. So you go search, know about these political parties, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And another thing again is be informed from the early stage. In secondary school, I would say civic education is mostly theoretical. It's not practical. So maybe we could look into that.
Do we still have that in schools today? Yes, of course, we still have.
Yes, we
civic education.
Of course, we still do. So it's mostly theoretical. If we can't make sure that this civic education is practical, then I think it's going to be a better thing. I could vividly remember when I was still in JS1, a civic education teacher at that point, we did election. We practiced how to vote during that particular
time. You had a practical class?
Yes, we had that practical class on how to vote for your candidates. So if this can be carried out in every schools, I think people will be informed about it, and then youth will get to realize that they should stop being spectator and then become participants in decision making. Okay,
earlier you mentioned that we need to be your people, the youth, the Gen Zs,
I remember the last time you told me you are youth, though.
No, I'm trying. No, now there's a demarcation. Okay, I'm a youth, but you are the Gen Zs.
Yes,
okay, so obviously. The Gen Zs, when you want to choose a leader, that look, okay, this person is my ideal leader. what are the qualities you look out for?
For me, firstly, I look out for accountability. Is this person accountable enough? That is the first thing I look out for. And if I get to that stage and I realize that this person is accountable, then I move to the next stage, then transparency. After realizing that this person is a very transparent person and all of that, you get to realize that we are moving forward. Another thing that I would like to say is, as a youth who is willing to see somebody who is growing, the next thing is you look for their track record. It is something to say that I know this person and this person is somebody that I adore, but then you fail to realize what that person has done. Because the truth is, if you want to elect a class captain now, you get to realize some of the things, the quality that the person possesses before you are able to vote for that person. So when you are able to weigh that and realize that the qualities, the good qualities outweigh and supersede the bad qualities, then I think
so personality does not count here.
Of course it does. It comes under the accountability, everything that entails with that person. If the person is good enough to feel that, but the truth is, not everybody is perfect. Everybody is not perfect. We cannot be working and not expect our head to not shake. Of course it's going to shake. But the truth is, if you understand that we are humans and we are bound to make mistakes, and these people will definitely do what they can do, and with the support of people. You cannot just expect a leader to be there and do everything without you participating and then supporting that person. The person is just like a driver, driving with no specific direction. So as a youth, it is one thing to have somebody as your candidate. It is another thing to also give that person the support that they need. Okay,
so what role does the youth parliament, or does the Lagos State Youth Parliament now play in strengthening electoral awareness for our youth?
The first thing I would want to say is, we start by changing the misconception of politics is dirty.
You're going to talk about these misconceptions. What are these misconceptions? So we're not assuming.
They actually believe that politics is dirty, like they don't have to do politics, that it's not necessary for them to be part of those who decide as regards the country. But the truth is, it's more like, let's say for example, a family. A father who builds a house. Definitely the father is going to transfer that building to his children, right? But if those children are not asking questions as regards how the house works, what is not working, if the father eventually hands over the house to them, they will not be able to manage it very well. So that is the problem. We feel that we do not need to ask questions, we do not need to know what is happening. By the time they get to transfer the issue of politics to us, we are not going to manage it very well. So that conception of I don't have to participate needs to be eradicated. So by eradicating that, it makes you believe and realize that you have a voice and it counts.
Okay, I noticed that, most youth are interested in only the general elections and not the local government elections. Why?
Exactly.
Why is this like?
They just want to get to that top quickly.
Why?
That is the problem. They do not want to take the gradual step. You cannot just say you want to get to higher institution without going to primary school, secondary school, senior secondary school, then finally to the higher institution. If we try as much as possible to make sure we take a step at a time, it might take long, but one thing I am very certain of is eventually we will arrive.
But do you think these youth understand what the local government, really stands for? Do they understand that they are the grassroots and that they are the ones closer to them?
That's the problem. Many of them do not understand. And they fail to realize that if they do not get to the grassroots level, then they are not building themselves for the future. So if you fail to realize that politics starts from the grassroots level, there is no how when you get to the upper parts, to the national, you are definitely not going to do well. So they believe the grassroots level is not big enough for them. But they fail to realize that that is where we catch them young. That is where you know the basic of politics, then transitioning into the federal level.
Knowing the basics of politics, I mentioned it earlier that, you are a member of the Youth Parliament. And you said, and I said, because you want to be a politician, and you said no.
When I mean politics, I'm not trying to say, of course, I am a member of the Youth Parliament and I'm definitely into politics. There are a lot of people who would do everything possible to want to have a position and all of that. I am into politics. I am interested in decision making and exercising my rights.
You're right, yeah.
But necessarily holding a position and all of that, striving to get to a particular position, I don't think is something I want to.
What if you find yourself there?
It's the will of God. It's not something I am working towards.
Okay.
But my responsibility as a citizen of Nigeria, by engaging in politics and exercising my franchise, voting, I would like to believe that I am into politics.
Okay, so talking about going for a political office, you know, so talking about being voted for, how accessible is this for young people?
It is accessible because we've heard several cases where there are youth who are SSA to the governor, who are this and that, going for position at the local level. But what we fail to realize is youth believe that they do not get those opportunities, that is not varieties of it.
Yes, these are opportunities given to them. When I'm talking about other opportunities, such as, you know, coming out as a candidate and being voted for, how accessible is this for the youth?
It is, yes, I like to believe, but what would you say when just 1/3 of youth are willing to come out courageously and go for this position? The number is not correlating. You might want to participate in it when we have just 2 over 100, 10 over 100, 15 over 100. It's nothing good, nothing good to write home about. But when we have a lot of youth coming together, when they see a youth who is willing to go for a particular position, we fail to realize that youth are supposed to be the ones supporting their fellow youth by exercising their franchise and making sure that that person gets to that position. But they believe that no, it's not necessary for them to exercise their franchise, and that is where the problem starts from. When you believe you cannot support your fellow youth into getting that position. The truth is, when our leaders eventually get to leave that position, we are the one that is going to take over. So if we do not start by supporting one another, if we do not start by exercising our franchise, if we do not start by being informed at the early stage, then when we get to that stage, I'm sorry to say, we might not necessarily know how to manage it.
What about funding, financing for this youth? Is it also a barrier for them? Or a major barrier?
I would like to say that funding does not necessarily mean money. Youth might possess the skill to get them money. Currently, I do not have money, but I am wealthy because I have a lot of things that will fetch me money. So if I am able to utilize what I have that can bring me money, then I don't think I need to be scared of the monetary aspects. So you just need to focus on what would bring that money. If you are somebody who owns a skill, if you are somebody who is outspoken, who can pitch to people, then I don't think it's a problem. But the problem is thinking that it has to be cash. No, it doesn't have to be cash before you.
So what does it have to be?
Like I said earlier,
your prowess, having what's inside of you to get what
you might have money today. You might get a support from somebody who might give you, let's say, 3-5 million. When you exhaust that money, what will fetch you money again? Will you still go and make the person to give you money? No. But if you have that quality that will continuously fetch you money, then there is no problem.
Okay, let's talk about social media. We have a lot of you people out there. You're saying all sorts, you know, ranting, complaining, you know. Does it really, translate into political activism? No, not political activism. Does it truly translate into electoral power? All the ranting, all the show of force, all the that you people do on social media.
Do you think if you continuously rant?
You're asking me.
No, I'm trying to put it out to my viewers. Do you think if you continuously rant on the social media, it will stop election? Of course it won't. You are just like a spectator. You do not have a say in it. So if you continuously vent and rant on the social media, you're just being silent. Because the truth is, without you ranting or you not ranting, the election will take place. A leader will emerge. But we fail to realize that these things we are doing will not make Nigeria and Lagos State a better place. So as youth, it is pertinent, it is important for you to know that ranting, being a spectator on the internet, will not have any effect on the decision of the government. So what are we supposed to do?
So what's the missing link between
the missing link
social media ranting and, of course, the actual vote?
Is active participation. You should know that political participation goes beyond ranting. You have to participate in voting. You have to get your PVC, your permanent voters card. You have to participate in town hall meetings. That's where you are informed about the country. You are informed about the political decision of the country. But if you continuously rant on social media, sorry to say, you're just being silent, because with or without your ranting on the social media, a leader will definitely emerge. It will not stop. I'm actually being factual.
So aside the youth parliament in Lagos State, are youths, adequately represented in policy making in Lagos?
Yes. Aside youth parliament, we have Lagos State Youth Ambassador.
Okay, what exactly do they do?
So they are more like the executive arms. So, for the youth parliament.
The legislature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have thousands of youth. I think about last week they had their trainings and all of that for the next cohort.
Okay.
So by doing that, youth are already understanding the process of political participation. They are getting to understand what they need to do, the necessary things they need to do before they finally get to that political position. So we are catching them young, like youth parliament. We are trying to oversee the House of Assembly, what they do, and then emulate from them.
Oh, it's just to emulate. You don't contribute.
Of course we contribute. What I'm trying to say, they're more like our mentors.
Okay.
So while we are doing ours, we are also watching out for the House of Assembly, getting to see what they do and also learn to grow and be better in that field.
When you say what to do, what they do, and also how they do?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's more like a mentorship. If I have a mentor that I like, the person is doing what I'm doing. Of course, I am doing mine, but I'm still trying to move closer to that person to get more experience like that person. So that is the youth parliament. And then for the Lagos State Youth Ambassador, mostly they carry out sensitization.
Are you a member too?
No. I have friends.
Okay.
Most of my friends are parts, but I'm a member of the youth parliament, so I just need to step back and let other people.
You can't be both?
No, you can't be both. But there are people who were opportune to be both. Okay. I know somebody who used to be an ambassador and eventually the person is a member of the youth parliament. But then I like to believe that you give people opportunity too. You don't take everything. As much as I'm doing one, allow other people to solve.
You're yet to give me any example of the youth, being part of policy making or decision making in Lagos.
For example, let's start with members of the National Parliament, the Youth Parliament, the likes of Anisha Peter. They are youth representing Lagos State at the National Youth Parliament.
Okay.
So these people are exceptional people. We have the likes of Ademola. These people are doing well.
Is it also national?
Yes, we have the likes of Telma. They are representing Lagos State at the National House of Parliament.
Okay.
So basically, these people are more like they are more like a mentor to us. We are here in Lagos State. Okay. We try to get closer to them. We try to see some of the steps they've taken and how we too can follow that path. So by doing that, it makes us realize that there are a lot of opportunities, but if you do not work and move with the right people, opportunity will not come to your doorstep. If you don't go out, work for it, knock for it, there is no how you are going to get it.
Okay, so what are the misconceptions about elections, that the youth are always talking about and of course worried about?
I like to believe, firstly, they think the political position is already defined.
It's already taken.
There is a person already.
Yeah.
But they fail to realize that. Why is Abraham Lincoln saying that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people?
That's in textbook.
It's trying to say that.
It's trying
to say that the
definition.
source of power is from the people. The administrator choosing is from the people. And lastly, the power that is actually being given out is just because of the people. So you try to see that he emphasized on people 3 times, trying to say that we, the people, are important. Without us, there's not going to be any political election. So we are more like the pillars holding this political position. If we do not vote our candidates, they will not get there. So if you believe that you don't have to vote because there is a person who owns that position, then if you do that, if another person gets to do that, then there is a problem. It's more like somebody who litters the floor. So because you believe that everybody litters the floor, you have to do that. If I can say that I don't want to continuously littering the floor, and then another person do that, then later on we keep telling people this is the importance of you not doing this, then there's going to be a change. So you need to realize as a member of this great nation that if you do not participate, your silence is just going to not be useful. It does not mean that election or that political party would not emerge. We are just trying to say that if you participate, your own voting will determine if this person will enter or not. But if you do not, you already have the mentality that is already taken, which is not so. So we need to change that mindset of it's already taken and coming out to do the right thing, that is participating, and stop being spectators. Because many of the people that I know, many Nigerians, if you go to social media, you get to see that they are more like spectators. Just, oh, this leader is not doing well, this leader is not doing. What exactly are you doing? What are you contributing to that leadership and making sure that it is going well? So we need to address all of that before we come out and rant that governments are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Okay, political violence is another factor which is usually attributed to the youth. And some youth see it as their way of participation in the electoral process. Why is that so?
There's difference between youth and there's difference between youth. So when we say youth, those who are participating.
Define me. You're going to define.
So when we say youth,
spelled the same way.
Yes.
Pronounced the same way.
Yes, exactly. Okay. But different meaning.
Okay.
When we say youth, I believe youth are those who are interested in the upliftment of the country. Then when we say those who are not interested, they are bad wagons. They are not youth, because a youth is definitely interested in making sure that their state, their country is growing. So those who do that are mostly those who are under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, and all of that. So they get to term them as youth because they are between the ages of, let's say, 18 to 35 and all of that, which is actually understandable.
If I'm a youth, yes, they are.
Which is actually understandable. Okay. I get it. But the truth is, we should stop painting everybody with the same brush. These people do not even know about political participation. They do not even understand what civic education is. They do not even understand what grassroots level is all about and how to participate in that grassroots level. They just believe that they can go there and then loot everything. They can go there and just spoil everything just because they feel that if their own candidate does not get in, then no other candidate will get in.
So how do you reach out to such youth, according to you, to your definition of youth and youth? So those youth, how do you reach out to them to make them, to educate them about proper electoral engagement?
That is where sensitization comes from.
Okay.
I'm certain that even these people who are under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, India hemp, we have them. We know them. We know some of them. You might not be very, very closer to them, but you know somebody who know them. But the truth is, if sensitization can be done, then it will go a long way. Because the truth is, these people are not informed. These people, they don't know what work. But if they are informed and get to know why things are like this and why things should not go this way, then I'm very certain that the problem of violence, political thuggery, and all of that would maybe reduce, or maybe it will be eradicated finally. Okay,
some youths are of the opinion that, you know, there should be a political party dedicated to just the youth, that maybe this will encourage more engagement, electoral engagement for the youth. What do you think?
For me, of course, it can work, but is that really, really the problem? Is that what we're supposed to be focusing on? Okay, let's say, for example, you have a political party that is just for the youth.
Yeah, to allow them just lend their voice. Yes, yes. That's what someone's saying.
Of course, it's a very good thing. I'm not disputing the fact that it's a very good thing. But the problem we are failed to realizing is they are just shouting, clamoring for the youth needs to participate and all of that. The youth fail to realize that they have to even get closer to these people, to the grown up, to our fathers, our mothers who are already at the decision making. We need to get closer to them and then see them as mentor. It's not like, let's say we have our assembly now. You're saying that House of Assembly, we have the adults, that is our moms and our daddies, and then we have the youth. So we are contesting, we are trying to say, oh no, the youth must emerge, the adults must emerge. It's not making sense. We need to have these people so that we can learn from them, so that we can have them as mentors and we can serve as mentees for them. But if we necessarily have to do that, it's more like trying to say that we want to more like have it as a competition. We need to make sure that the youth emerge. But that's the problem. We don't necessarily need to show off that they have to do these things, but by getting closer to them and learning from them, even if it's for you to join APC or PDP, that is where you want to belong to. It doesn't have to be tagged for the youth alone, because tell me, how then will you learn from those who are the arms of affairs? So that is not the problem. The problem is active participation and getting closer to those who are already doing it and then learning from them. It's more like saying that you want to contest with your father who has been in the industry for years.
Industry?
For years. There's no, of course, you might be lucky enough to do better, but the truth is the experience and all of that. Your father has it more than you. So what you will just do is tit for tat. I learn from you, you learn from me. Move closer and we work together to make the country a better place.
A lot of young Nigerians will be turning 18 this year, and next year, 2027, will, you know, maybe January. They say maybe January, but the timetable that is out is February. And if you're not 18 by December this year, or if you're not 18 by now, you might not be able to vote next year. So what should they know? What should you be telling them?
One thing I would say firstly is,
because it will be the first time they will be voting. So what should they know?
Actually,
yeah,
it's not just, oh, I want to vote. Do you know why you are voting? Do you know your participation, your voice actually counts? Like I said earlier when we first started this, I said one of the better things you can do for yourself is to be informed, is to verify things before you do it. While trying to get your PVC, it is also important for you to learn about politics, know how it is done, know what work, how can you come in, how can your own voice be heard. So if you get to realize that, because the truth is, many people that I get to know believe just because, oh, in my local government, it's just APC that is doing well, it is PDP that is doing well, so I believe that I have to follow the crowd. That is the problem. You have to get to know things yourself. Because the truth is, if there is a problem, before people will come to solve it for you, you need to do that yourself. So you need to be informed, know about politics, learn about the history. In fact, even those who are art students, they do government rights. They learn about politics, how it works and all of that. You need to continuously do that because it goes beyond the theoretical aspects. You need to watch about the real life politics, how it works, what you can do to make sure that you do not make mistakes that others are actually making.
Thank you very much, Sherifat Umar, Member, Lagos State Youth Parliament. We were discussing electoral participation and youth engagement. Democracy does not thrive only on population strength. It is also about participation. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.